and welcome to Exposure TV. You may be aware of Exposure Radio, which has run successfully in this university for the last few years. This show continues the Exposure brand and brings the fun to your screens. Exposure TV is brought to you by the Performance and Media students, the Media Production students and the Set Design students. Our hope is to take this academic project and create something that we hope you can enjoy. We are a magazine show for young professionals and Exposure TV will be with you for the next 2 weeks. I'm Alice Campion.
And I'm Robin Kendi, and we will be with you for the next hour. Over in the cloud we have the lovely Leah Coombs.
Hi, hello, good afternoon. I'm here in the cloud, which is our social media hub. We would love for you guys at home to get in contact with us and let us know your opinions on the stories we'll be covering. To get in contact, you can tweet us on @TVExposure or on our Facebook page, which is www.facebook.com/exposureradio. So get those comments coming in.
Thank you, Leah. We have a jam-packed show for you today. Coming up on the show, we have an interview with Jonathan Evans, MP for Cardiff North. He will be telling us about his journey from a young politician to his career in British and European Parliament.
Also on the show, we'll be talking with past student Amy Dewitt, a graduate of University of Glamorgan, who now works with Real Radio. We caught up with her to find out what life is like after graduation.
We will also be speaking with Richard Hand live in the studio as he tells us a bit about radio drama's Lover's Lane, which he wrote and directed, and it was performed at a Zombie conference which took place in Plymouth this weekend. And we have lots and lots more in store.
As many young people watching will be aware, it's a crazy time when your education finishes and you go out into the big world of work. But imagine if at 22 though, you decided to stand for Parliament. Jonathan Evans, MP for Cardiff North, did just that.
He did indeed, and he went on to have a very successful career in Parliament and in Europe. And we sent Exposure TV's Laura Harris to his constituency office to find out more about his career.
Jonathan Evans, MP for North Cardiff, is based here in Whitchurch, and I got the opportunity to ask him about his political life.
So when did you first find that you were interested in politics?
When I was a teenager, curiously enough, and it wasn't so much a political interest. There used to be, in a sense, sort of youth groups attached to all the political parties in those days, and there wasn't much else to do if you were a teenager. It's not quite like the sort of great social opportunities you have nowadays.
You were selected to be a Conservative parliamentary candidate at 22. Did you find this quite a pressure at such a young age?
The seat that I was aiming to fight is the area that I was born in, and that's Tredegar in the South Wales Valleys. The Member of Parliament is a very, very famous political figure, Michael Foot, the former leader of the Labour Party, an iconic figure. So when I decided to try to become the candidate at 22, I think the local association thought that this contrast between Michael Foot and a 22-year-old son of a former Labour councillor was quite a sort of good contrast, and I quite liked the challenge as well. It was an election that took place in the middle of a miners' strike. And I had national newspapers contact me and say, was I in fear when I went along to campaign during the election because of the fact that 6 mines were in the constituency and there were pickets outside. But I was able to point out that I actually knew people who were working in just about every one of those mines, including people probably that I'd been at school with as well. And so I think that that was sort of helpful. In politics nowadays, perhaps you have people who don't really know very much about the areas that they seek to represent, and I think that I was able to sort of say I knew quite a bit about this area because my family had been connected with it for almost a century.
And in 1999, you were elected as part of the European Parliament.
I was indeed, yes.
Yeah. So how did you make that transition then from Westminster to Europe?
Well, I was in Parliament originally between 92 and 1997, and I had a very interesting career serving as a government minister. Career in Parliament originally had been through taking a seat from the other side, from a Liberal Democrat in that case, with a colossal majority of only 130. And so we came to the election in 97, I lost my seat. I went back into practice as a lawyer for a while, but I still quite liked the idea of being involved in politics. So I've always been in favour of Britain's membership of the European Union. That's not a mainstream position in the Conservative Party, but the Conservative Party were kind enough to elect me to head the list.
What would you say was probably the most challenging part of maybe dividing your time or maybe your role within the European government? Well,
while I was in the European Parliament, I had the opportunity of there being 2 major jobs that I secured. I was not terribly impressed with the leadership of the British Conservatives, so after a year I stood for the leadership myself and I was elected. So in my first term in Parliament, that's what the challenge was, to lead the British Conservatives in the Parliament itself, to make us relevant, to make us influential. And then the second challenge of leading on behalf of the whole Parliament, and that's the spectrum of views. I mean, I had somebody in my delegation who was a member of Sinn Féin, and in my previous ministerial career I'd been on a Sinn Féin death list, for goodness sake. So you have to recognise that your role is to lead this delegation and all members of the delegation.
It's clear that Jonathan Evans had an interesting political career, which is now coming to a close as he looks forward to his retirement.
Thank you to Jonathan Evans for that interview, and on Friday's show we will have the second part of that interview where we speak to Jonathan about his views on gay marriage, so tune in for that.
Today our reporter Abby Bourne caught up with the University of South Wales Registrar Chris Latey to find out what a day in the life of a registrar is actually like.
Hello, I'm Abby Bourne for Exposure TV, and today I'm here with Chris Latey, who is a faculty registrar of the Atrium. So today we're going to be asking him a few questions. So hello.
Hello.
How are you today?
Very well, thank you.
Good. So firstly, can I ask you, what does being a faculty registrar entail?
There's three main thrusts really. There's the quality element, which is the building and the administration of courses, so course creation and all that entails. There's a recruitment thrust to my role as well, which means that I deal with UCAS applicants and that end of business. And then there's a third part, which is student administration. So I have a team to run all of these things for me. My average day as a faculty registrar, what it entail, depending on the day of the week, I normally get in about 8:30, make the tea, reports and stuff first. Then I'll quickly scan my email and make sure there's nothing urgent popped in, and then try and set up anything that needs to be done that day, ready to do. Those activities could be anything, kind of like I described earlier. It might be that we need to do something with a UCAS code, or I need to review a document, or something along those lines. I also get called into various other things. The Quality Assurance Agency are coming in next week, so I've been asked to go and talk to the panel up there. Yes, on Friday I was in Kelly talking to some people about merger. So it's quite broad, and it's not just focused necessarily just on the individual minutiae that the job entails. You get sucked into university business on a broader scale as well. I have kind of specialists to do particular things, and they build their knowledge, and they have their teams as well with teams within teams. But when it comes to it, if the proverbial hits the fan, then we've got a tight team down here, and so we would look to help each other out.
What faculty are you in?
This is, well, as of last week, this is the Faculty of Creative and Cultural Industries, no longer the Cardiff School of Creative and Cultural Industries. We've got a slight shift in our focus now.
And so do you expect, or have you seen any changes since the merge of the University of Newport and Glamorgan?
I got sent a new lanyard. It's not this one, it's a red one, but I haven't dared to put it on yet. It says University of South Wales. In terms of the immediate impact, it's business as usual for us at the moment, bar some simple things like starting to rebrand and starting to change your email signature, things like that.
So how do people get in contact with you?
My email address is chris.latey@southwales.ac.uk. You can also get me on my old email address, which is clatey@glam.ac.uk, or I'm based on the 4th floor in the main office on the 4th floor, which I'm pointing at now. The camera can't see that one I'm pointing at, so for the benefit of you.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. And thank you guys for watching. I've been Abby Bourne, and this is Exposure TV.
Thank you for that, Abby. Now we have quite a jam-packed show for you today. Still to come on today's show, we have our hidden gem story, which highlights somewhere interesting in Cardiff and its surrounding areas, which is worth a visit.
Also, we'll be talking with Richard Hand live in studio about his radio drama which he wrote and directed. And we will have a roundup of all the exciting news around the University of Glamorgan today. Now, summer is fast approaching, and if you're anything like me, you may not have tons of cash for travelling. Well, not to worry, there are plenty of cool locations around Cardiff, some of which might be off the beaten track that you may not have even known were there. Our very own Leah Coombs went to Roath Park to find out a bit more about this hidden gem.
I'm here at Roath Lake, which opened in 1894 in the Victorian period. It's maintained its Victorian image with features such as the lighthouse, which is located in the middle of Roath Park. This location is perfect for art students, maybe photographers who wish to capture one of Cardiff's most iconic images. But don't be put off by the family and dog-taking atmosphere. Everybody's welcome. If you're not an art student though and you fancy coming to Roath Park Lake, there's other things you can be doing, like going on one of the boats. There's a choice between either pedal boats or rowing boats, so take your pick and have a cheeky trip across the lake.
A local resident, Mr. Gary Freeman, submitted a poem to the Millennium Library of Poems, an action which remained undiscovered until after his death. The Lake by Gary Freeman. Rippled wave with tinsel top always makes me look and stop. Sculptured moving work of art, reflecting nature's changing chart. Trees like sentinels surreal, give the lake a guarded feel. Overlooking from their height, the waves that glisten in the light. Each one an echo of its neighbour, their shape in time no one can measure. Never alone, for each one twinned, they change direction with the wind. Patterned patchwork, scallops down, the surface heaving without sound. No lapping can be heard, no cry. As each wave lives, it's soon to die. Its birth was only for a second, and I was there to see it happen. No one else will ever see the waves that lived life just for me.
So Leah, you look like you enjoyed that. Would you recommend a visit to Roath Park to your friends?
Yeah, definitely. Like, it's a really nice location outside of the city centre, and it's really picturesque. I'd say wrap up though, because obviously it's very cold at the moment, which is wrong because it's April.
It's going to be,
where's the sun?
hot now, isn't it?
But yeah, it's definitely a lovely location, and like I said in the VT, it's great for students who maybe photographers that would want to capture one of the beautiful parts of Cardiff.
It's good for location hunting as well.
Oh yeah, especially
a lot of us
film students as well, yeah, definitely.
What was your favourite part of the visit?
Well, it wasn't, obviously in the location it was great, but the best part was my director has a massive fear of birds. So it was kind of like a conquering a fear kind of adventure.
You're healing people all over
I'm
the
healing
place.
people, what can I say?
You're like Trisha.
I try. Definitely.
So what's this I hear about a sudden oak death? It sounds pretty scary.
Well, at first I was a bit alarmed. I didn't know what to say, really. But I found out a bit more information about it, and we're not to worry. Basically, it's to do with an infection in the soil. It's a bit technical. Any gardeners out there who might appreciate this. It kills off oak trees and other trees alike. So it's basically a warning if you're taking your dogs for a walk, or you're going for a walk in the mud. Make sure you clean your boots off so you're not infecting other gardens. So I don't know.
And we'll be all right, won't we?
We'll be fine. We'll be absolutely fine.
We'll survive.
I was very worried then.
Yeah, don't worry about it. So if you guys at home have been to Roath Park, let us know what you think about it. And if you got up to any special events there, let us know. This morning on Twitter, we've been getting lots of good luck messages in, so thank you very much for all of those. We've had a tweet from Lucy Collins who said, "Good luck to the TV Exposure crew. Kiss, hug, kiss," I think that is. And also from Ridian Lewis, who said, "Good luck for the shows." And also one from Sarah Louise Davis, who also said, "Good luck." Thank you very much for those guys. We really appreciate it. Also, we want to know your thoughts on the interview with Jonathan Evans. Has he inspired any of you young people to get involved in politics? Also, don't forget the second half to that interview is on Friday's show, where Jonathan Evans will be talking about his views on gay marriage. But back to today's show, we still have lots more coming up, including a live interview with Richard Hand about the radio drama he wrote called Lover's Lane. And we'll be catching up with a past student, Amy Jewett, about her career after uni and how she got to where she is now, working with Real Radio. All that and more after this short break.
Oh, thank God that's over.
Pub?
Yeah, goody who?
But I'm really hungry.
I feel they do really good wraps there.
And it's 2 for 1 on drinks with these pink slips.
Let's go.
This isn't a sandwich. This isn't a sandwich. This is a sandwich. The New York Deli, the only place for lunch.
It's like old times, to hear me coming through your speakers.
Hello and welcome to Tequila Radio.
Tequila Radio, the student radio station for Glamorgan. Live from the atrium, into your ears.
Made with the finest Swarovski elements and stunning crystal cards. Crystal Fizz will create your own uniquely handmade wedding and event stationery.
Welcome back to Exposure TV. We still have lots coming up later on the show, including a catch-up with a past alumni, Amy Jewett, and find out what life is like after uni. Also, we have an interview with Will Barker, who works for the cancer charity Tenvis. But for now, it's over to Alice, who's been joined in studio by Richard Hand.
Thanks very much, Robin. Hi, Richard.
Hi.
How are you? So you've been doing a radio drama called Lover's Lane. Could you tell us a little bit about the storyline, please?
Yeah. It's only a 15-minute drama, but it follows the kind of model of 1940s live radio drama. And where we performed at a conference, we did it fully live with live music, sound effects, and voice actors, of course, and it broadcast live as well.
Yeah.
Despite the name of it, Lover's Lane, you might think it's something romantic.
Yeah.
It's actually a horror story because it was performed at a zombie conference, which
Okay.
gives kind of clue what happens in it.
Okay, well, without giving too much away. So it's a cross between a love story and a zombie thriller.
Yeah.
Is there a reason why you picked the 1940s?
Well, I've done a lot of research. I published a book a few years ago about American radio drama from the 30s to the 50s. Obviously, central to that is the 40s era, which is a kind of golden age of radio there. And I've just finished a book that's coming out next year about British radio drama. And the kind of central part of that is also about the 1940s. I think it was a really interesting time. You know, radio drama started in the 1920s, but by the time of the 1940s, it was completely dominant, and it was always live.
Yeah.
So it's this incredible time, very exciting. The late 30s as well, we got Orson Welles and War of the Worlds, these very famous live broadcasts. So my research has been looking into that. And the last 8 years, with a colleague at the University, Mary Trainor, we've been recreating live performances using all the tricks of the trade from the 40s.
Oh wow! So kind of going back in time a little bit.
Yeah.
So why did you choose a radio drama and not any other medium?
Well, I think it ties in with my research interests. I mean, I do a lot of work in sort of theatre research, but I'm always interested in this reconstruction aspect. I've done a lot of work on Grand Guignol, French theatre from the late 19th century onwards, and when we do productions of that, we try and do it as it would have been done. But I think the radio area is very interesting. I think radio is very neglected. Despite the fact the BBC still knocks out hundreds of radio plays a year, and podcast drama is really taking off, it's literally invisible. So I think people could ignore it quite easily, more than they can TV perhaps.
And of course, because it's such a mediatised, we're such a mediatised generation as well. So maybe it's time for a big comeback for radio. So can you tell us a little bit more about the symposium? It was described as I've got zombies walking, eating and performing. Sounds pretty gruesome. Yeah,
it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
As for the eating thing, they had these zombie cupcakes everywhere, which were delicious. They were great.
Not made of real humans, so no. That's all right then.
But it was a lot of academic papers. But what was really good about it as well, there were events like ours. People could see the live radio show. There were other sort of elements of performance and movie screenings. And they had people, not just academics there, they had people who were involved in industry. They had this wonderful group who did special effects design and makeup for horror movies, and they were there doing their stuff. That was really good.
Oh wow, it sounds so fun. I wish I could have been there. So have you got any more plans for performances of Lover's Lane, or even any more new dramas?
We'd love to do it again. As in that era, everything was broadcast live. Very few things were recorded, and even if they weren't repeated, really. So we'd love to have another chance to do it again from the atrium. We think that would be good fun. We're talking about maybe doing it as a double bill. It's only 15 minutes, maybe doing 2 15-minute plays. And again, broadcast it live, of course, because we always like to do that.
Well, thank you very much, Richard. Hope to hear more of your radio drama. Back to Robin.
Hi.
She's back.
I'm back. Thank you, Alice. Now, this year, the University of Glamorgan celebrated its 100-year anniversary. In celebration of this, we've been speaking to some past students about how their experience as a student here has led them onto the road to success. Jack Perry caught up with Amy Dewitt, who studied for MA in radio here at the Atrium and now is working for Real Radio.
I'm Amy Dewitt, I'm 29 years old and I work at Real Radio Wales. Did some work experience in a radio station and realised that that was where I wanted to work and that's what I wanted to do. And I knew that if I stayed at the radio station volunteering and just doing work for free, it'd probably take me a couple of years before I actually got up to the level where I knew all of the legal stuff and all the stuff that I could learn in 8 months in a master's course. I did my dissertation and I'd left it quite tight to do it all. And I didn't really have the amount of time that I'd have liked to have had for a literature review. So I did my literature review, but I knew that I was going to need loads and loads and loads of quotes to fill my diss. And I thought, do you know what? I don't want to go looking through hours and hours of books. And B, I'd rather use real people. And I got straight onto Twitter and I thought, right, who can I message? So I managed to get a few really respected people in the radio industry, and one of which was a man called Andy Griffiths who works at Real. The one thing that I'm really good at is nagging, and that's what I've learned in trying to get into radio, is just to nag and pester people. And while I was here, I was doing a little bit of woe is me, and you know, it's going to be so hard to get into radio. I just really need a job. I finished my dissertation soon. I don't know what I'm going to do. And then he said, you know, are you willing to do anything? Because I know you want to present, but are you willing to do any jobs? And I said, yeah, you know, anything that you've got, just let me do. And he said, I might know of a job here in admin in the S&P department, which is sponsorship and promotions and competitions and events and stuff. Unfortunately, Glamorgan did tell you very straight that it's really hard to get into presenting, but of course I didn't want to listen. You know, you hear, look, you know, it's really, really difficult. See if you can make sure that you're able to do producing and you're able to do other things and not just that. And in my head, I was just going to be a presenter, that's it. It's like, you know, I almost thought, why are you trying to ruin my dream? This is what I'm going to do. Leave me alone. I'm going to be a presenter. I know I'm going to do it. So, you know, this is what I'm focusing on. And I almost wish that if I could go back again, I'd probably do a investigative journalism MA. I loved my radio one, but I find that there's lots more jobs in as a journalist on radio stations. Like, you'll see them come up, and there's probably 3 journalist jobs that come up for every 1 presenting job. And I think if I could go back again, I would literally be getting up at 9 o'clock in the morning, and if I didn't have lectures, I'd be sitting there and I'd be writing plans for my radio show I'm going to do on tequila, or a demo I'm going to record later on, or just trying things out, because you can just play when you're in uni, and you can't play now. You can really just embrace that time just to make errors and to have a go and, I'll see what that sounds like, and just fiddle around, which when I get back on the airwaves I'm not going to be able to do. It's very much, you know, you're going to be directed by your programming team, and that's the line that you go down, so you almost won't necessarily find out if you've got some strengths in other areas. So I think if I could go back, I would focus more on student radio and focus more on fiddling in the studio and just playing about and hiring it out and stuff.
Best of luck to Amy. Now we're still here with Richard Hand, and Robin is also a radio student, so
radio star.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I went to the event with Richard on the weekend, the Zombie Symposium, and it was a great learning experience. Well, it certainly was for me. I was one of the voice actors in Lovers Lane, and I really enjoyed the sound effects, because obviously, as you said, everything was live. Like, everything was live. So we had like wine bottles with some cork to make like sounds of rats. Yeah. So it was, yeah.
What else?
We had a whole sort of range of levels of sound, wasn't
it?
For the listener, they just hear young lovers walking down a country lane. But to create that, we've got a whole team who are messing around with bicycles and leaves and gravel, which we actually used cat litter.
Yeah, cat litter for
gravel. It sounded better.
Yeah. And we broadcast obviously to a live radio audience, but also to an audience that were watching us in the theatre, didn't we? Yeah. So it's two very different things. Someone listening at home, they would just hear, you know, they're walking down this lane, and then the people who were watching live in the theatre see us doing all these crazy things on stage. Yeah.
So other level of performance.
It worked well, though.
It was quite interesting because at the beginning, just before we went on air, we had to say to the audience, you know, you've got to keep completely quiet, and they were great. They really did. Kind of nerve-wracking when they're not allowed to cough or anything that audiences do all the time, but they were brilliant, weren't they? They were completely quiet.
Right, I think that was. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for coming in.
We've been getting a few tweets in, so let's head over to Leah and hear more about that.
Yes, thanks, Alice. We would love to hear from past alumni. Let us know what your experiences were like after university. We've been getting some tweets in. We've got one from Ross Leishan who says, "You're all doing brilliantly well. Looking forward to the rest of the goings-on down at Exposure." Me too. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Thank you very much, Ross, for that tweet. We've also got a tweet from Rhiannon Vater who says, "Good luck TV Exposure on their first broadcast today. I'm sure all your hard work will pay off. Have fun and enjoy yourselves. Hashtag Exposure TV." I know for a fact that we're all enjoying ourselves now we're calm. So let's keep this going. Let's keep this momentum. And we have one from Diane Kemp who says, "Good luck this afternoon. We'll be watching in Birmingham." So we've branched out of Cardiff as well, so that's great. Also, trending on Twitter at the moment is Catching Fire, which is a new trailer following the Hunger Games film. If you haven't seen it, get on YouTube now and watch it. It should be great, and let us know your opinions on it. We want to know as much as possible about that. But for now, some more local news and a look at current events taking place in the university. In the spotlight today, Kelly Wong spoke to Inga Barrows about the Glamorgan Showcase in May.
Hi, my name is Kelly, and today I'm going to join Inga, who is an organizer of an event here in the atrium during May. Alright, so Inga, could you tell me about the event that's going to happen in May?
It's the end of year show, and the students who will be involved in it are third year students who are about to graduate. So many of the students will be displaying the work that they'll be assessed on for their final year project.
So is it organised according to the modules that they're doing, or is it just picking up different kind of works to showcase for them? I mean,
well, I think with a lot of the practical based courses, they do a major project in the third year, and that major project is usually the piece of work that they have on display to represent the culmination of their education.
Alright, so in terms of like your role, your role in this event, what do you do?
Well, I was asked by the Deputy Dean to join a committee of staff, academic staff and administrative staff, technical staff, in order to develop ideas and to kind of think about how we wanted to create a show. But never before, since we arrived at the Atrium, have we attempted to include all subject areas.
How long is the event? How long will it be?
Well, it will open on the 31st of May, and then it will continue throughout the weekend and the following week, and close on the following Friday, I believe. Right. It's completely open to the public. The university marketing team will have a list of industry VIPs, industry professionals that they have connection with, that they want to invite in to show off the students' work to, so that there's kind of opportunities and bridges built so that students may get you know, work opportunities out of it. So kind of it's for industry, but it's also, you know, we see it as a very much a celebration of students' achievements. So we expect them to bring friends and family along. So it has quite a festive atmosphere to it, particularly on the opening night.
All right, Inga, thank you very much for your time today. I'm very excited about this whole event thing, to showcase the students' work and everything, that they kind of benefit from it. We'll look forward to it.
So there you go. Keep your eyes peeled for the Atrium Showcase, which will be running in just under a month's time. There'll be more details available as the event draws nearer, and check out the university website for more on Inga and her work. That's what's in the spotlight today, and if there are any other university-based events taking place, you can get in contact with us on @TVExposure or on our Facebook page. Still to come up on the show, we have a day in the life of Tenebus employee Will Barker and some fun and games with our presenter challenge. Also, we'll be talking with some music tech students who have set up their own record company, so that's all on the way after this.
Fast Track Records is an independent record label from Cardiff that supports young and up-and-coming local artists seeking to break into the music industry. Fast Track focuses on all aspects of music, including management, promotion and production. This knowledgeable record label provides artists with everything they need and boasts a portfolio of performers from around the Welsh capital. This is Fast Track Records.
This isn't a sandwich. This isn't a sandwich. This is a sandwich. The New York Deli, the only place for lunch.
Hi, I'm Emma, owner and manager here at Emma Jane's Cupcake Kitchen. We create handmade gourmet cupcakes made with the finest ingredients at reasonable prices. Throughout the year, we hold themed workshops where you can come and learn how to decorate cupcakes. See our website for more details. We have a variety of tastes to suit everybody, including red velvet, vanilla, chocolate, and peanut butter and chocolate chip.
Welcome back to Exposure TV. Still to come on today's show, we have an interview with some music tech students who have started up their very own record company, Fast Track Records. But now it's time to talk a bit about our charity, Tenebus. As some of you at home will know, Exposure Radio has been raising money for Tenebus for the past few years, and we have taken up the challenge from them.
Over the next 2 weeks, we will be sharing stories from the 10 of us volunteers, and we hope to raise some money for the charity as well. We spent a day with Will Barker, who works for 10 of us, and spoke to him about some of the work he does there.
So I'm part of the communications team at 10 of us. My role is PR and digital officer. I personally look after all digital content or digital output for the organisation, whether that be videos, audio, social media, website, blogs, so anything that is accessible online. Surveys are included in that as well, is my remit. But I also look after PR and press for our shops, our corporate and our community department, and also fundraising and challenge events. That's stuff from treks to runs, half marathons and marathons and all that. But our communication team as a whole looks after anything that you see or hear about 10 of us in the outside world. So we have a graphic designer in-house that looks after everything you see. Everything that is 10 of us goes through our graphic designer, and anything you'll see in the newspaper, anything you'll see on television, anything you hear on the radio has all come through us. So it's really important that we're putting the message out that we want the whole organisation to say. There's a lot of tea being made in 10 of us, so everyone's always offered to making a cup of tea, which is great. And then get a computer, read my emails that I might have got over the night. That could be someone asking if they want to cover a story on us, and then so that would be me organising it and setting up who they need to speak to, or it could be something internally asking, oh, I need to change this on the website, this needs to be put on the website, and then we take it from there. Updating social media throughout the day is planned, but we also have to react to things. So, for instance, Bonnie Tyler has just been chosen to represent Eurovision for the UK. We have an archive picture of her doing something for 10 of us, so we reacted to that and put up a picture of Bonnie Tyler and said, look, blah, blah, blah. So it's quite reactive. My day at 10 of us is always really varied. I could be doing anything from tweeting and Facebooking on a daily basis to writing press releases about stories about our shops, about our community fundraisers, or about corporate events that we're putting on. Also, I could be working with like more fun stuff, mascots that we've got at the moment, creating photo exhibitions, doing lots and lots of different things. It's a really, really varied role.
Thanks for that, Will. 10 of Us is such an important local charity, and if you'd like to make a donation, please do so by visiting our Just Giving page or texting EXTN92 and the amount you wish to donate to 770. All the information is on Twitter and on our website.
And keep an eye out for any fundraising events which will be happening over the next 2 weeks to raise money for 10 of Us. And we're going to be hearing many more stories from the charity and ways that you at home can get involved over the coming weeks. Coming up on tomorrow's show, we've got third-year fashion design students coming into the studio to show us their final pieces. So that's exciting. Yeah. And we're going to be having a chat. They're going to be having a chat with us about their course.
We also take a look at how hard Llandaff rowing team train for competitions and reveal another secret gem of Cardiff. All of that on tomorrow's show, but today's show is not over yet. Just coming up, we have an interview with Dan Hellier, the music tech student who is involved in setting up a new record company called Fast Track Records, and our fun, if not slightly nerve-wracking, presenter challenge, which still has to be revealed to us, which I'm quite excited about.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued about the presenter challenge and I really want to know what it is. But first, it's over to Leah in the cloud. So Leah, what's happening in the world of social media?
Well, Robin, we've been getting lots and lots of tweets in today, so thank you very much for everyone who's done that. We've got a tweet from Josh Larkham who says, looking forward to what you've got in store, something hopefully to cheer me up after all this dissertation rubbish. Hashtag good luck. And hashtag good luck to you too, because I'm sure that's very stressful. We have a tweet from Joe Grant who says, hope the shows go really well. Good luck for the next 2 weeks. I really hope that we do well. We're going well. We're going to keep doing this. We're going to win. We're going to win something, a medal at the end. I don't know. We've got a tweet also from Jade Barber who says, loving the homemade adverts on TV Exposure. Been to New York Deli for the first time today and it was amazing. Yeah, I particularly like the sandwich advert. It's very impressive. And also we've got a bit of a debate sparked by Joel Edwards who says, do you think you should do your best work even, in uni over a larger time frame or when you leave it to the last minute? Hashtag I'm divided. Well, I know that if I leave it too long, I usually get panicky, so I try and do it all in the time frame that I'm given. I might be saying this just because I know that there'll be lecturers watching, but there we go. So if you have any opinions on that, tweet us in at TV Exposure. Also, talking about Twitter, there have been lots of celebs tweeting today and over the week. We had Greg James tweeting about the prices of airports and going on holiday. It's getting more and more expensive by the minute. What do you think about that? Do you agree with him? Tweet us in for that as well. Of course, we want you to tweet about what you're doing at the moment, what you think of the show, and what your plans are for the evening. Just let us know.
But now it's time for our presenter challenge. So Leah, do you want to come over and tell us what we're going to be facing?
There's these that I'm quite worried about.
So let me squeeze in between you. Okay, so, well, Robin and Alice, we are going to try your coordination and general knowledge skills. Don't look so worried, it will be fine.
Well, I'm a bit worried, if I'm honest with you. What are these all about then?
Right, so it's simple. I'm going to ask you some general knowledge questions, and the first person to get them right, you've 10 seconds to get as many of those pegs as you can onto the washing line. Okay. The winner at the end of the round is the person with the most closed pegs on the line. So Alice, you've got the white pegs and you've got the blue pegs, Robin. Okay? So we're going to start alphabetically and I'm going to ask you the first question. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I was born ready.
Sure? Okay.
Good luck, Alice. Good luck.
Thanks, Robin. May the best girl win.
Okay, the first question is, what is the name of Fred Flintstone's daughter? And your time's up.
Bam.
No, it's not. It's Pebbles.
Oh, so I knew that one.
Pebbles.
I thought you were going to pass it to me. I was ready.
I'm very sorry. You don't win anything.
Okay, I can get it back. Okay,
here we go. This is a nice little Welsh question for you. Oh. Who is Sir Thomas John Woodward more commonly known as?
Tom Jones.
Come on, you've got to...
So now...
Okay, you've got 10 seconds. I'm going to count you in. Get as many pegs as you can. You do what you want. As many pegs as you can. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stop.
Hang on.
I think we're going to have to take those pegs back. They were after I said stop.
They were on stop.
Excuse me. I think I find Robin put on 2 at a time.
That's allowed. She said put them on any way you want. I dropped loads on the floor.
I didn't make any rules there. Okay, the next question for you is, what is the name of Smithy and Nessa's baby in Gavin and Stacey?
David.
No, it's Neil.
Neil, of course.
Come on, Neil the baby.
Sorry, the pressure's on, it's the pegs.
Next question for you. Okay. Forrest Gump described life as a box of what?
Chocolates.
Well done. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stop. Nice.
My hands are sweaty.
Lovely. Okay.
I need to do some catching up, I
think.
You
definitely do. What is the name of the ice hockey team in Cardiff?
Mighty... Oh, Cardiff Devils.
There you go. I'll give you that one. Okay, ready?
Even though I was...
The mighty Cardiff Devils.
I thought she was going to say Mighty Ducks, to be honest. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Oh, no!
4, 5, 6, 7.
I can still
8, 9, 10. No, you definitely don't get that one.
What?
I'm being strict today. It's that kind of day.
I thought we were friends.
Well, not today. Okay, here we go. Which large building in Cardiff is known by the locals as the Armadillo?
I don't know what one that. But I don't know.
I'm gonna. Have to,
is it?
No, she said.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to stop. I didn't give you much leeway.
No.
It's the Millennium
No,
Centre.
I just realised that. I was just thinking. I know another building in Scotland that's referred to as like the Armadillo, and I was like.
I said Cardiff.
Yeah, I know. Okay, you threw me.
This is pretty easy. This one. Okay.
Well, I have got a lot of very easy questions wrong, haven't I? So.
Yeah. What is the national flower of Wales?
Daffodil.
Brilliant. Here we go.
I did have to think about
that was a really easy question.
I'm sorry, Robin. It's just the way it works. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
got my eye
6,
now.
7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, you've lost many.
I lost one. Yeah.
Okay,
Does
well,
that count? No. Okay.
We'll go with that one. And one last question for you, Robin. Which country's flag features a maple leaf?
Canada?
Yes.
Oh my God, that was a guess.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nice. Good work.
That was smooth.
So well done to you both. That was a great round. So let's count up the pegs and see who's won. Okay, with the white pegs, Alice, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And Robin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's no point in counting. Robin, I think you've clearly won there. Hard luck, Alex.
Hey, it's harder than it looks, Leah, okay?
It is harder than it looks, in all fairness.
I did give you a couple of really easy questions there, to be fair.
Well, daffodil, like, that's a really easy question.
I'll never live this down. Now, as students here in the University of Glamorgan, I have to say they have some great services and departments. Here is a little insight into Cromwell House, home to the fashion students.
The University of Glamorgan offers many fantastic courses. Here at Cromwell House, fashion design gives you the opportunity to develop your skills and create something truly beautiful. Work on industry-informed briefs to enhance your creativity and technical ability, as well as learning how to integrate design, technology and theory to create a finished product. Career opportunities are endless. From high street to high fashion, you will have the potential to influence the latest styles and trends. Fashion designers need passion, creativity and motivation. Think you've got what it takes? Then what are you waiting for? Apply now.
And of course, we will be the last graduates of the University of Glamorgan, which is now the University of South Wales. We are now joined in studio by Dan Hellier, a media tech student who has just set up Fast Track Records. But before we dive into questions about that, let's have a quick look at the previous event Fast Track Records has held, highlighting some of their talented performers.
I'm very nervously excited, I can't wait.
Rosie's more nervous than me because she's doing 2 gigs tonight, so she's got a lot more to remember than me. We still haven't properly rehearsed yet. We're going to have a quick rehearsal before we go on in a bit now. Yeah, it's going to be good. It's quite nice for us because we've been playing instrumental stuff together for a long time, but we've not really done any sort of singer-songwriter stuff. So for performance, this is the first time we've played that sort of stuff out. So it's really cool.
Right now we've got a great duo, Jack and Rosie. Really looking forward to their stuff. They've got some brand new stuff to show you guys. Dead exciting. Enjoy. just say a huge thank you to the oh so talented Rosie Bell right here. Like seriously, oh my god, how many times have you played tonight and like unprovoked anything and you just said, right, we're playing this key, go for it. Rosie Bell, Rosie Bell. Right, this has been the Fast Track Records showcase party, and I hope you come next time. I hope you really enjoy the material we bring out with the artists. I hope you've enjoyed the artists, and we're really looking forward to working further with the artists. Ladies and gentlemen, keep drinking, have a good night. We've been Fast Track. Thank you very much. Good night.
That looked great. Thank you very much for joining us in the studio today, Dan. So how many performers have you actually got signed at the moment?
We've got 3 artists signed with us at the moment.
3 artists?
I'm not sure how many were on the video, but so there's Jack and Rosie, and then a band called Nothing North of Alaska, who recently got #1 in a download chart.
That's good. Wow. That's really
impressive. We were chuffed to sign them. And then another act called Thick as Thieves. They're all really, really good.
Yeah. Are they like similar to Jack and Rosie that we've seen in the video?
Yeah, they're all folk based. They're not exactly the same, but you can tell that they're sort of a similar genre. And what we're going to do is we've recorded an EP with each of them and put it on a compilation CD to release. It all goes together really nicely.
Oh, sounds good, yeah. So why don't you tell us a bit about setting up Fast Track Records?
Okay. So we started the company as part of our group project module for the courses we're on. We're all in our 3rd year. There's about 7 of us. And we needed to start a business that utilised all of our skills. So we came up with the idea of a record company aimed at new artists in Cardiff. And that was in October, so since then we've sort of done some recordings and we did the gig that you saw and signed some artists, and now we're hoping to release a CD, which we released later this month.
Oh, that's exciting. What role do you play in the company?
We all have to do a lot of different things, but I've primarily been recording and mixing the recordings with 2 of the bands, and then some of the people have done the other band.
So what is in the future?
For the company, we'll hope to release a CD and sell a load, and then maybe make an album with one of the bands if it sells well or if they seem promising, and then potentially sign some more artists and keep it going.
Well, good luck with that from me and Alice, and we hope you do well. Moving on to sport, in Cardiff City have had a fantastic season so far. Ahead of their clash with Charlton tomorrow, we spoke to Media Wales football correspondent Chris Wathen down at Swansea's Liberty Stadium. Exposure TV's Leah Coombs has this report.
Chris Wathen comments on Cardiff City's impressive season so far and discusses exactly what they need to do to reach the Premiership in time for next season.
I think that if you look at their squad, they've got a much greater strength in depth, so when there has been injuries and suspensions and loss of form, as there inevitably is with all sides, they've had other players that can step in and take the team on. Yes, they have been consistent. That's why they're top. They're more consistent than any other side. And when they've not been playing well, which has been quite a few times over the last 6 weeks or so, they've still managed to get wins, get points at the death. You know, at the time when they drew with Derby and Leicester, I think it was, that they looked like they were points dropped. In the whole grand scheme of the season, they could be valuable points that have pushed them over the edge of promotion. So that's what a side needs to do when they're not playing well. Just ask Manchester United. They haven't exactly blown teams away this year, but no one's going to catch them for the Premier League title.
Chris talks about his excitement about the prospect of a Welsh derby in the Premiership, but admits that the pressure on him as a journalist will be tough.
Yes and no. From a journalist's point of view, it's a dream as much as a nightmare, because the hype and the build-up is quite a heavy workload, but it's obviously fitting to the occasions. Every time there seems to be a game, it seems to be bigger and bigger, and you know, the first all-Welsh derby in the Premier League will be absolutely huge, but something it'll catch the eye of the world, let alone South Wales.
The future of Cardiff City looks bright. Here's hoping they head up to the Premiership and stay there.
Thank you very much for that, Chris. And of course, Cardiff City face Charlton tomorrow evening, kick-off at 7:45. And now it's back over to Leah in the cloud for the last time today.
I'm very sad about that. I'm very sad about it, but thanks to everybody who's tweeted and Facebooked us. We really appreciate it. And again, like I keep saying, keep tweeting because we've got shows for the next 2 weeks. And we've got our last few tweets now. Charlotte says, I'm intrigued by all the new TV exposure project. I'd be very keen to get involved with this. Good luck with the launch. Keep tweeting us, Charlotte, and maybe you can get involved with the shows. We've also got a tweet from Dewi Howells who says, TV looks fun, can I swap with you? I'm doing my dissertation and I'm sure I'll enjoy it as much as presenting. No, sorry, Dewi. I'd love to let you swap, but I'm enjoying it too much. Sorry. And also, we've got just a last little note that we're nearly at 500 followers on Twitter. Let's see if we can get that before the end of the show, which is very, very close now. We can do it. We're on 487 at the moment. So thanks for those, and remember to keep tweeting and keeping the comments coming in throughout the next 2 weeks because we love hearing from you, and we'll do our very, very best to keep reading them out as much as we can. Also, keep an eye out on the social networks when we're off air to hear updates from us. Tomorrow, Abby will be in the cloud, and I will be back with you very soon.
Wow, so keep your tweets coming in. We're nearly at 500 now, so it'd be great if you could all keep following.
Yes, and we are going to be here for 2 weeks, so we're going to need a lot of tweets.
Yeah,
a lot of tweets for 2 weeks.
Tweets in 2 weeks, yeah. And also, the Raise Money for 10 of Us will hopefully have some interesting packages on that.
Yeah.
And donate, keep donating.
Keep donating, keep tweeting.
Yeah, we're asking a lot of you.
We are.
But it's completely worth it. Unfortunately, we've almost run out of time on today's show, but make sure to tune back in tomorrow at 2 o'clock for the first Exposure TV show of the day. Sorry about that.
And special thanks to all of the guests that we had on today, including Richard Hand and Dan Hellier from Fast Track Records. And remember, if there are any stories happening around the university or locally that you want to tell us about, you can get in contact with us via our Twitter page, and I'm sure that Leah will be grateful to hear from you.
But that's it for today. So thank you for being with us, and we will catch you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.